We have heard the bell sound. I light our chalice and we begin. Welcome to worship, everybody. Our prelude this morning comes from the beautiful voice of Judy Collins.
I went out to the hazel because a fire was in my head. Cut and peeled a hazel wand and hooked a berry to a thread.
The day is done, and the darkness falls from the wings of night as a feather is wafted downward from an eagle in his flight. I see the lights of the village gleam through the rain and the mist, and a feeling of sadness comes o'er me that my soul cannot resist. A feeling of sadness and longing that is not akin to pain, and resembles sorrow only as the mist resembles the rain. Come read to me some poem, some simple and heartfelt lay, that shall soothe this restless feeling and banish the thoughts of day. Not from the grand old masters, not from the bards sublime, whose distant footsteps echo through the corridors of time, for like the strains of martial music, their mighty thoughts suggest life's endless toil and endeavor, life's endless toil and endeavor. And tonight I long for rest. Read from some humbler poet, whose songs gushed from his heart, as showers from the clouds of summer, or tears from the eyelids start, who, through long days of labor and nights devoid of ease, still heard in his soul the music of wonderful melodies. Such songs have power to quiet the restless pulse of care, and come like the benediction that follows after prayer. Then read from the treasured volume the poem of thy choice, and lend to the rhyme of the poet the beauty of thy voice. And the night shall be filled with music, and the cares that infest the day shall fold their tents like the Arabs, and as silently steal away.
Thank you so much, Mark. And welcome to worship this morning, everybody. We are very glad that you are here. I'm Deb Weiner. I am the Developmental Director of Faith Development for Children here at First Parish in Bedford, part of the worship team, and glad to welcome you all this morning. This is the second in our series of summer worship services. We have wonderful services that will be coming to you week by week. And we want you to know that you can join us all summer long right here. And one member of the worship team will always be with you, along with members of our new and intrepid tech staff as well. Welcome today. We will have a virtual community hour that follows this service, and you are warmly invited to join us there. If you are dropping in for the first time, I don't know that I saw anybody in that category, but we warmly welcome visitors and newcomers. So please do feel free to make yourself known to me or to our senior minister, the Reverend John Gibbons, who is also with us this morning. And we will be glad to follow up with you and get to know you a little bit better. I would like to invite you now to join us for our unison affirmation, which is going to appear on the screen. And even though you are muted, please join warmly in saying these words. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de esta iglesia, y el servicio es su ley. Este es nuestro gran pacto, vivir juntos en paz, buscar la verdad en el amor y ayudarnos los unos a los otros. Well done. A few of you weren't muted, and that's great to hear your voices for sure. We're moving forward now in our service, and we are very, very pleased to present to you a poem for all ages. This is called My Brain. It is from Miracles, a collection, an anthology of children's poetry. And better yet, it is brought to us this morning by Phil Vitello's granddaughter, Veronica Regoli. And Veronica, we're very, very happy to welcome you indeed. So please read us your poem.
My Brain by Annabelle Lawrence, age 10, Uganda. I have a little brain tucked safely in my head. and another little brain, which is in the air instead. This follows me and plays with me, to me in bed, and the other one confuses me, the one that's in my head.
Wonderful. And thank you so much. It's great to see you. All right, friends. Well done indeed. We are moving forward now in our service, and this is a time when we pause for a moment to light candles of joy and concern for what we have been carrying in our hearts this week and during these days that are challenging in so many ways. And Sandy Bozanowski, who's a member of our lay pastoral team, will be helping with that process. Sandy, do you want to close us out?
Oh, well, I'll have to light a virtual candle, but one final virtual candle for the joys and the sorrows that we keep silently in our hearts at this time.
Thank you and blessings to you all. And let us pause now for a moment of music as we enjoy this piece called Lagrima, performed by Vabejas, and I hope that I am saying that correctly. Enjoy this music. I want to just express gratitude before we move on in our service to our worship leaders for this morning. We're very grateful for the work and the inspiration that's being provided by Micah Killian, Mark Bailey, Irene Gravina, and Phil Vitello. And thank you all so much for what you are bringing to our worship experience this morning.
Happiness by Jane Kenyon. There's just no accounting for happiness, or the way it turns up like a prodigal, who comes back to the dust at your feet, having squandered a fortune far away. And how can you not forgive? You make a feast in honor of what was lost, and take from its place the finest garment, which you saved for an occasion you could not imagine, and you weep night and day to know that you were not abandoned, that happiness saved its most extreme form for you alone. No, happiness is the uncle you never knew about, who flies a single-engine plane onto the grassy landing strip, hitchhikes into town, and inquires at every door until he finds you asleep mid-afternoon, as you so often are during the unmerciful hours of your despair. It comes to the monk in his cell. It comes to the woman sweeping the street with a birch broom, to the child whose mother has passed out from drink. It comes to the lover, to the dog chewing a sock, to the pusher, to the basket maker, and to the clerk stacking cans of carrots in the night. It even comes to the boulder in the perpetual shade of pine barrens, to rain falling on the open sea, to the wine glass, weary of holding wine.
Won't you celebrate with me, Lucille Clifton? Won't you celebrate with me what I have shaped into a kind of life? I had no model, born in Babylon, both non-white and a woman. What did I see to be except myself? I made it up here on this bridge between starshine and clay, my one hand holding tight my other hand. Come celebrate with me that every day something has tried to kill me and has failed. Hurricane. Hurricane by Yona Harvey. 4 tickets left. I let her go. Firstborn into a hurricane. I thought she escaped the floodwaters. No, but her head is empty of the drowned for now, though she took her first breath below sea level. Ah, and mama, let me go, she speaks, what every smart child knows. To get grown, you unlatch your hands from the groan. And up and up and up and up, she turns, latched in the seat of a hurricane. You let your girl what? You let your girl what? I did so, she do. I did, so she do. So girl, you can ride a hurricane. And she do, and she do, and she do, and she do. She do make my river an ocean. Memorial, Baptist, Protestant birth, my girl walked away from a hurricane. And she do, and she do, and she do, and she do. She do take my hand a while longer. The haunts in my pocket I'll keep to a hum. Katrina was a woman I knew. When you were an infant, she rained on you. And she do, and she do, and she do, and she do.
The Arrivals by Anne Kennedy. When we arrive at the lounge of everything with our bags, hands full of earth, the lives of our grandparents and our memory devices, we expect an exchange of sorts. That is what we expect. And I think everyone deep down expects that we will not turn back. Through a high window, we will connect stars like line drawings, translate the sparkles of the poet. We will sign the fascinating mouth of the speaker. We will sing lyrics that someone thought were pretty good. We will sing them and we will not turn back. We will not. When our footsteps awaken fresh from a long, complicated journey, during which the planet slid otherwise, we will likely remember a dream we had once and tell a version of it to the next person and the next, and realize, hopefully, they also have a dream to tell. And we will not do that thing where we won't listen to anyone else's dream. We will listen and interpret, signing, singing, saying, even though we have been instructed not to use ings. We will use the wisdom disseminated by our devices. We will not turn back. We will not. If on arrival there is wringing of hands, we will shake hands. And in the eye of a storm, we will make tea with our brilliant fading bodies. We will do a variety of things while we can. We will bed down on the steps of the assembly if we have to. We will bed down in a court of law. And all beds anyway are temporary. And when we see that and realize we have traveled through the night, we have traveled and are not turning back, that will be the point at which we arrive.
Thank you, Mike. Friends, we have come to the time in our service when we collect our offering. And although the church has surely left the building in so many ways, yet we are together. And this congregation, like others in our Unitarian Universalist faith, relies on the generosity of our members and our friends to sustain it through these times and carry forward our ministry to this community and out into the world. So please take a moment now as you enjoy another Judy Collins piece, The Lake Isle of Innisfree, to also consider the ways in which you can be generous and support this congregation. And thank you.
And a small cabin built there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honeybee, and live alone in the bee-loud glade. And I will have some peace there, for peace comes dropping slow, dropping on the veils of the morning, to where the cricket sings their midnights all a glimmer, and noon's a purple glow, and evening's full of the linnet's wings. I will arise and go now, for always, night and day, I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore, while standing in the roadway or in the pavement's gray, I hear it in the deep heart's core.
'Twas Mercy by Phyllis Wheatley. Phyllis Wheatley was born in 1753 in West Africa and sold into slavery at age 7 or 8 to the Wheatley family of Boston. The Wheatleys encouraged her talent and freed her upon publication of her book of poetry. She died at age 31 in 1784 and is buried in Boston's Cop Hill Burial Ground. 'Twas mercy brought me from my pagan land, taught me my benighted taught my benighted soul to understand that there's a God and there's a Savior too. Once I redemption neither sought nor knew. Some view our sable race with scornful eye. Their color is a diabolical dye. Remember, Christians, Negroes, black as Cain, may be refined and join the angelic train.
When I first came across this poem by Dennis Smith, I was really moved by it and wanted to include it in this service. But I also had concerns as to my ability to give it voice. And then I realized that the way in which I could approach it would be as if it had turned up in a letter mailed to me. Dear white America, I've left Earth in search of darker planets, a solar system revolving too near a black hole. I've left in search of a new God. I do not trust the God you have given us. My grandmother's hallelujah is only outdone by the fear she nurses every time the blood-fat summer swallows another child who used to sing in the choir. Take your God back. Though his songs are beautiful, his miracles are inconsistent. I want the fate of Lazarus for Renisha, want Chucky, Bo, Meech, Trayvon, Sean, and Joan Leah, risen 3 days after their entombing, their ghost regifted flesh and blood. Their flesh and blood regifted their children. I have left Earth. I am equal parts sick of your go back to Africa, and I just don't see race. Neither did the poplar tree. We did not build your boats, though we did leave a trail of kin to guide us home. And we did not build your prisons, though we did, and we filled them too. We did not ask to be part of your America, though are we not America, her joints brittle and dragging a ripped gown through Oakland? I can't stand your ground. I'm sick of calling your recklessness the law. Each night I count my brothers, and in the morning when some do not survive to be counted, I count the holes they leave. I reach for black folks and touch only air. Your master magic trick, America. Now he's breathing, now he don't. Abracadabra, white bread voodoo, sorcery you claim not to practice. Hand my cousin a pistol. I tried, white people. I tried to love you, but you spent my brother's funeral making plans for brunch, talking too loud next to his bones. You took one look at the river, plump with the body of boy after girl after sweet boy, and asked, why does it always have to be about race? Because you made it that way, because you put an asterisk on my sister's gorgeous face. Call her pretty for a black girl, because black girls go missing with so much as a whisper of where, because there are no Amber Alerts for amber-skinned girls, because Jordan boomed, because Emmett whistled, because Huey P. spoke, because Martin preached, because black boys can always be too loud to live, because it's taken my papa's and my grandma's time, my father's time, my mother's time, my aunt's time, my uncle's time, my brother's and my sister's time. How much time do you want for your progress? I've left Earth to find a place where my kin can be safe, where black people ain't but people, the same color as the good wet earth. Until that means something. Until then, I bid you well, I bid you war, I bid you our lives to gamble with no more. I've left Earth and I am touching everything you beg your telescopes to show you. I'm giving the stars their right names. In this life, this new story in history, you cannot steal or sell or cast overboard or hang or beat or drown or own, or redline, or shackle, or silence, or cheat, or choke, or cover up, or jail, or shoot, or jail, or shoot, or jail, or shoot, or ruin this, if only this one is ours.
'Tis a fearful thing, by Judah Halebi. 'Tis a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, to hope, to dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools, this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing, to love what death has touched.
Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
Sympathy by Paul Lawrence Dunbar. I know what the caged bird feels, alas, when the sun is bright on the upland slopes, when the wind stirs soft through the springing grass, and the river flows like a stream of glass. When the first bird sings and the first bud opes, and the faint perfume from its chalice steals, I know what the caged bird feels. I know why the caged bird beats his wing, till its blood is red on the cruel bars, for he must fly back to his perch and cling when he fain would be on the bough, a swing. And a pain still throbs in the old, old scars, and they pulse again with a keener sting. I know why he beats his wing. I know why the caged bird sings, ah me, when his wing is bruised and his bosom sore. When he beats his bars and he would be free, it is not a carol of joy or glee, but a prayer that he sends from his heart's deep core, but a plea that upward to heaven he flings. I know why the caged bird sings.
I Am the People, the Mob by Carl Sandburg. I am the people, the mob, the crowd, the mass. Do you know that all the great work of the world is done through me? I am the working man, the inventor, the maker of the world's food and clothes. I am the audience that witnesses history. The Napoleons come from me, and the Lincolns. They die, and I send forth more Napoleons and Lincolns. I am the seed ground. I am a prairie that will stand for much plowing. Terrible storms pass over me. I forget. The best of me is sucked out and wasted. I forget. Everything but death comes to me and makes me work and give up what I have, and I forget. Sometimes I growl, shake myself, and spatter a few red drops for history to remember. Then I forget. When I, the people, learn to remember, when I, the people, use the lessons of yesterday and no longer forget who robbed me last year, who played me for a fool, then there will be no speaker in all the world say the name, the people, with any fleck of a sneer in his voice or any far-off smile of derision. The mob, the crowd, the mass will arrive then. I Am Waiting by Lawrence Ferlinghetti. I am waiting for my case to come up, and I am waiting for a rebirth of wonder, and I am waiting for someone to really discover America and wail for the discovery of a new symbolic Western frontier. And I am waiting for the American eagle to really spread its wings and straighten up and fly right. And I am waiting for the age of anxiety to drop dead. And I am waiting for the war to be fought, which will make the world safe for anarchy. And I am waiting for the final withering away of all governments. And I am perpetually waiting a rebirth of wonder. I am waiting for the second coming. I am awaiting a religious revival to sweep through the state of Arizona. And I am waiting for the grapes of wrath to be stored. And I am waiting for them to prove that God is really American. And I am waiting to see God on television piped onto church altars if only they can find the right channel to tune in on. And I am waiting for the Last Supper to be served again with a strange new appetizer. And I am perpetually awaiting a rebirth of wonder. I am waiting for my number to be called. I am waiting for the Salvation Army to take over. I am waiting for the meek to be blessed and inherit the earth without taxes. And I am waiting for forests and animals to reclaim the earth as theirs. And I am waiting for a way to be devised to destroy all nationalisms without killing anybody. And I am waiting for linnets and planets to fall like rain. And I am waiting for lovers and weepers to lie down together again in a new rebirth of wonder. I am waiting for the great divide to be crossed. And I am anxiously waiting for the secret of eternal life to be discovered by an obscure general practitioner. And I am waiting for the storms of life to be over. and I am waiting to set sail for happiness. And I am waiting for a reconstructed Mayflower to reach America with its picture story and TV rights sold in advance to the natives. And I am waiting for the lost music to sound again in the lost continent in a new rebirth of wonder. I am waiting for the day that maketh all things clear, and I am awaiting retribution for what America did to Tom Sawyer, and I am waiting for Alice in Wonderland to retransmit to me her total dream of innocence, and I am awaiting for Child Roland to come to the final darkest tower, and I am waiting for Aphrodite to grow live arms at a final disarmament conference in a rebirth of wonder. I am waiting to get some intimations of immortality by recollecting my early childhood. I am waiting for the green mornings to come again. Youth's dumb green fields come back again. And I am waiting for some strains of unpremeditated art to shake my typewriter. And I am waiting to write the great indelible poem. And I am waiting for the last long careless rapture. And I am perpetually waiting for the fleeing lovers on the Grecian urn to catch each other up at last and embrace. And I am awaiting perpetually and forever a renaissance of wonder.
Perhaps if our president had read this poem, his slogan would be more meaningful to most of us. Let America be America again by Langston Hughes. Let America be America again. Let it be the dream it used to be. Let it be the pioneer on the plain, seeking a home where he himself is free. America never was America to me. Let America be the dream the dreamers dreamed. Let it be that great strong land of love where never kings connive, nor tyrants scheme, that any man be crushed by one above. It never was America to me. Oh, let my land be a land where liberty is crowned with no false patriotic wreath, but opportunity is real and life is free. Equality is in the air we breathe. There's never been equality for me, nor freedom in this homeland of the free. Say, who are you that mumbles in the dark, and who are you that draws your veil across the stars? I am the poor white, fooled and pushed apart. I am the Negro bearing slavery scars. I am the red man driven from the land. I am the immigrant clutching the hope I seek and finding only the same old stupid plan of dog eat dog, of mighty crush the weak. I am the young man full of strength and hope, tangled in that ancient endless chain of profit, power, gain, of grab the land, of grab the gold, of grab the ways of satisfying need, of work the men, of take the pay, of owning everything for one's own greed. I am the farmer, bondsman to the soil. I am the worker, sold to the machine. I am the Negro servant to you all. I am the people, humble, hungry, mean, hungry yet today despite the dream, beaten yet today, O pioneers. I am the man who never got ahead, the poorest worker bartered through the years, yet I am the one who dreamt our basic dream in the old world while still a serf of kings, who dreamt a dream so strong, so brave, so true, that even yet its mighty daring sings in every brick and stone and every furrow turned, that's made America the land it has become. Oh, I'm the man who sailed those early seas in search of what I meant to be my home. For I'm the one who left dark Ireland's shore and Poland's plain and England's grassy lea, and torn from black Africa's strand I came to build a homeland of the free. The free? Who said the free? Not me. Surely not me. The millions on relief today, the millions shot down when we strike, the millions who have nothing for our pay, for all the dreams we've dreamed and all the songs we've sung and all the hopes we've held and all the flags we've hung, the millions who have nothing for our pay except the dream that's almost dead today. Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet and yet must be, the land where every man is free, the land that's mine, the poor man's, the Indians, Negroes, me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain, must bring back our mighty dream again. Sure, call me any ugly name you choose. The steel of freedom does not stain from those who live like leeches on the people's lives. We must take back our land again. America? Oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me. And yet I swear this oath, America will be. Out of the rack and ruin of our gangster death, the rape and wrath of graft and stealth and lies, we the people must redeem the land, the mines, the plants, the rivers, the mountains and the endless plain, all the stretch of these great green states, and make America again.
Fear by Khalil Gibran. It is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled from the peaks of the mountains, the long winding road crossing forests and villages. And in front of her, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter there seems nothing more than to disappear forever. But there is no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean because only then will fear disappear. Because that's where the river will know. It's not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean.
The Trouble with Poetry by Billy Collins. The trouble with poetry, I realized as I walked along a beach one night, cold Florida sand under my bare feet, a show of stars in the sky. The trouble with poetry is that it encourages the writing of more poetry. More guppies crowding the fish tank, more baby rabbits hopping out of their mothers into the dewy grass. And how will it ever end unless the day finally arrives when we have compared everything in the world to everything else in the world, and there is nothing left to do but quietly close our notebooks. Poetry fills me with joy, and I rise like a feather in the wind. Poetry fills me with sorrow, and I sink like a chain flung from a bridge. But mostly, poetry fills me with the urge to write poetry, to sit in the dark and wait for a little flame to appear at the tip of my pencil point. And then along with that, the longing to steal, to break into the poems of others with a flashlight and a ski mask. And what an unmarried band of thieves we are, cut purses, common shoplifters. I thought to myself as a cold wave swirled around my feet and the lighthouse moved its megaphone over the sea, which is an image I stole directly from a Lawrence Ferlinghetti poem, to be perfectly honest, for a moment. The bicycling poet of San Francisco, whose little amusement park of a book I carried inside a side pocket of my uniform up and down the treacherous halls of high school.
Friends, we are coming to the end of our service, and so as you enjoy Aaron Copland's beautiful fanfare for the Common Man performed by the National Symphony Orchestra, We invite you also to remain following the postlude for a time of conversation. You'll be able to talk to our wonderful worship presenters as well. So enjoy now Fanfare for the Common Man.